Hey there and welcome to another video with me. In this video, I'll show you how to create a blog using Squarespace. Just so you know, there are a lot of platforms you can use to create a blog on your website. I recently created a video about how to create a blog using WordPress and Elementor Pro. However, you can use a great platform like Squarespace to create a website and a blog. So Squarespace is a great platform. Squarespace essentially, so it's basically Squarespace company. So they own Acquainted Scheduling, which is like a scheduling platform for your business. Anyway, that's not the goal of this tutorial to talk about Acquainted Scheduling, but I have videos about Acquainted Scheduling. My sister, we say body fitness, she's a personal trainer, and this video is not only about personal trainers, right? It's for everyone. She created a website and a blog using Squarespace. So her website is called Body by Laura. I'll put a link of her website in the description so you can actually have access and see, you know, how she built a website. I'll also sort of like walk you through on what she's done, and I'll show you how you can replicate the same thing for yourself. She's a personal trainer. She's not a techie person, you know. It's just to tell you to create a website on Squarespace, you do not need any technical skills. As long as you understand like basic English and you can follow instructions, that's all you need. So you just need to follow the instructions I'm going to be showing in this video. So you'll be able to build your blog on your website. If you don't have an account with Squarespace, I'll leave a link of Squarespace on my screen here. It's orimidia1.com/Squarespace. Then the other link, I'll also leave that link in the description so you can go ahead and access it. So click on that link, it will lead you into the Squarespace homepage, and from there, we can get started creating your blog page using Squarespace. Okay, let's go. If you don't have an account with Squarespace, go on the link in the description. Click on that link. It will lead you to the Squarespace homepage, or you can use the link here. I'm going to type. So this is my unique affiliate link. So yeah, that's my unique affiliate link. So this is essentially the Squarespace website. As you can see, that's how it looks. Once you're on this area, you need to click here on Get Started. This is an example of a client of mine. She's my sister. She has a blog post on Squarespace. So this is account. It was created with Squarespace, just so you know. And she has a lot more pages, right? And this is a website that I created recently on Squarespace myself. Yeah, so this is a website that I created with Squarespace recently myself. So I'll just show you how to add your blog post, and and then you're ready to, and then you'll be ready to go. So that's essentially everything. And that's my sister, one of my clients. She's created her blog post. So if you click here, for example, on this one, uh, achieving your fitness goal using intermittent fasting, for example, this is what she has done. And then there's a next page, um, 5 ways to support your immune system during lockdown. These are blog posts she's created like a while ago. She has a fitness business. And if you click here, that's her Instagram account. She has more than 65,000 followers. So I'm just showing you just in general. And this is a blog. This is a website I created using Squarespace. I have a separate video where I show you how to create a website. You will click here on Get Started. I've already select the niche that you like to walk into. Let's say you're into beauty. That's just an example. And then I click next. What would you like to do? You like to sell product. You like to sell services as well. And just click on finish. These are the steps you need to go ahead. And this site is being created with the Blueprint AI. So essentially, AI is helping you to create this site. So, and then you just put your site title, beauty, and what type of style would you like Professional, playful, friendly, sophisticated, quirky, bold. So you basically select one of the style here. So in this case, I'll just select professional. And here, build your homepage. That will be product section, service section. I'll just say product section, service section, um, appointment section, digital product section. If you're selling any digital products, yes, you can put that. But if you don't, then don't worry. About section, social, form section, footer, and social section. Yeah, okay. And just click here on next. Appointments, click on that, and that's it, right? Just click on next. So you're building your website with AI is pretty quick, but we won't go into the details on how to create a website. We're just going to talk about how to create your blog page and create your first blog post and get started with blogging. So these are the color palettes. The recommended color palettes for this style of website are these ones, but you can decide which one to go ahead with. So if you choose, for example, uh, this one, the color palette you would choose will directly have um, an effect on the whole website. If you choose that one, that's essentially how your website is going to look like. So you can always change your color palette afterwards. I would show you how to change your color palette. Click here on next. And then the heading recommended ones are those ones, the first one, but you can always choose any of these headings. Yeah, and then you click here on finish. So it's gathering the data and creating our website. Okay, as you can see, it has now created our website and our website is live. So just click here on edit site for now. You'll see that everything is here, but there's no blog page, right? So it's just to show you what we've done. It's pretty quick and it's very intuitive, straightforward as well. Now let's go ahead and add our blog page. But if you come here to pages, click on pages and then on pages, there's places you can add your blog. If you can decide not to link your blog to your main navigation menu. This is the navigation menu up here. That's called navigation menu. Or you can decide to have it on link. So you can decide to have it on the main navigation menu or on the on link. But I prefer to have my blog post on the navigation menu. So if you click here on the plus button here, and then the blog post is going to be on the collection pages. So if I click here on blog and here on blog, so Squarespace has a lot of like pre-made blog templates designed on how they love to display the blog post. So that's just like examples right now. I'll go ahead and select this one and let's just title my blog. I'll just say a blog, and essentially that's how our blog post template is going to look like. So you can see Squarespace published these blog templates ages ago. It's since 2019, but it doesn't matter what you've chosen. We can always change these blog posts. It's not a problem the way they look. So here on the right hand side, here on the left hand side here, they are selling to you can add a pricing plan, monetize your blog. So for example, if you're selling specific pieces of content, you can do that here. If you click here, for example, create a pricing plan for like for your blog post, but I wouldn't recommend you to start that right now because if you're just getting started on blogging, I recommend you to blog enough to know what you're doing before you start creating a pricing plan for some of your content. But again, I'll show you how to play around with this part. If you click here on settings, uh, the general blog settings are you have your blog here. The navigation title is blog. The URL slot is blog. Enable page, yes, that's fine. Password right now is password protected. Post per page, you will have maximum post per page is 20 posts. However, you can reduce it to uh let's say let's say 10, 12, and then you have the pagination. So you have the pagination for the next one. but I'll keep it to 20. 20 looks like a good number. And then you can you can decide to set your blog post as your homepage. And if you click here on SEO, search engine optimization is very important. You take this part into consideration. The SEO title is blog. Let's just leave that to blog, but this part is optional. You can always change this later on to your own liking. Um, SEO description is also optional, but it's good to have something here. All page in this section, hide from search results. So let's say, yeah, but that's only when you are not ready to publish. When you're ready to publish, just switch this off and just have your blog publish. All category pages in this collection, all tag pages in this collection. Okay. Social images. Social is going to be that blog beauty, and here alternative social sharing image. I recommend you to have a social sharing image. So you just upload an image here or select something from the library, right? So have it on your social. When people are looking for your blog or for your blog page, they will see this sort of like image. The feed podcasting is off Apple News, all this. So if you're not part of this, ignore this part. Advanced, manage categories. So this is where you will have your categories, right? So you need to create. Right now, you don't have anything here because you haven't created any category. The same with tags. You don't have anything there because you don't have any tags. And here where it says page header code injection, you really don't worry about this. You don't really need to know that it's something that has to do with coding, and don't complicate. So you don't need to worry about these two. But these two part, the manage categories and tag, you will need them in a minute. I'll show you how to create categories, tags, and everything. So you sort of like need them. You understand this. This will make more sense once I create the tags and category. Once you've made any changes here, you need to click here on save. And here on the block overview, these are some of the blocks overview that we have now. So if you click here on this three dots here and click on settings, this is a feature image for that specific blog post. Obviously, it's not your blog post. You can just remove this image. And you know the text here, the author is Ulrich. The source, you need to put the source URL, and yeah, essentially link post to title URL, and that's it. And then you come here to options. The status right now is published. Tag, you need to put the tags for this blog post. The category, you need to put the category. Okay, let's just say I'll put the tag here in a minute. So just tap enter. And let's go back to categories. And then I put blog post content. So let's just have that at when I go to my blog settings in a minute, I'll see all those content. The categories have been created. The comments, if I like people to comment, I'll just enable the comment section so people will be able to comment. If I don't like people to comment, I'll just remove that. So you really need to check on that. But I'll just leave the comment on for now. Feature posts, some templates and block will highlight a post flag as featured. It really depends. If you like to have that as featured, it's fine, or you can just untick that. SEO title, yes, put the SEO title here. And then for every single blog post, put the social image for that specific post so it can be identified as so. Share, you can create, connect an account. You can connect a social sharing account if you have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and many other accounts. You can connect it here. The location, you can put your location where you are based. Okay, let's just cancel that. You can put your location where you're based. Normally, I don't really use this area that often, but you can play around with it, like put your business name, address, country. Yeah, essentially. And once you've done all of that, you need to click here on save. That's it. Okay, now that we have all these posts here, so these are the templates of what Squarespace created. We're going to delete all these and then create a new one together. So if you just select that, select all of them, and then just click here on delete, and just that's it, right? So you've deleted all of them, and then you click here on the plus. So that's we're getting started to creating our new blog post now. Look at the date, 16th of August. That's when we are creating this blog post. So let's go ahead and add our post title. And then here I'll enter my text um, for my blog post. But before that, let's just have a look at this specific rectangular shape. Right up here, you can click here on the plus button. You'll be able to see all these items, such as text button, images, and a lot more things you can add. And if you click down there, it's essentially the same thing again. So you can add above or below any of these items, but we'll get into the details in a minute. Okay, so that's like in here you can write anything here, to be honest, right? And up here you can add whatever you also want. You can add like an image, and that's not finished. You can also come here and add a button. And to add an image, you can just click on the plus button here and select from library. I'm just going to add this one, for example. It's a nail polish. I'm just going to add that. Yeah. And then the button, you can edit the button. The text, you can change the message here. Instead of learn more, you can put like read more. And then you can link this to a specific blog post you've created so people can carry on reading. That's just an example. But in this case, I won't link it to anything yet. I'll just leave it the way it is. And here on design, you will see the type of button you have. It's a primary button, and you can select any other type. So you can have the secondary button, or you can have the tertiary. But I'll leave the primary for now. And if you need to, let's leave a primary anyway. And if you need to edit style, click here on edit style, and you come up here, all button pack. Let's just click on that for now. And that's like the sort of like button pack we have available. So you can select any of those. Yeah, but I won't really touch on that. I won't really touch on that, but I can just maybe select this one, my button to be like this, and just, go back there, really. Okay. And just click here on uh, save. Okay. And just click on close that. Our first blog post is here. Yeah. Now I can rearrange this blog post. Just click here on edit. The way it looks now is not really how I like, right? And this button, I'll move that down, and then this message, I'll move that on the side like this, right? So you can see I have our first blog post. You can now put some content here, then you have image here, and then I have read more here. I can rearrange it like this. Okay, let's go ahead and edit our section. So if you click here on edit section, you have a lot of features here to customize your section, the section of your blog post. Just bear in mind, any changes that you make here will apply on all the pages of your blog post. So for example, the content width right now is medium. You can change that to white. That's going to be like that. It's going to span, but let's leave that to medium. I prefer. The text alignment is left. The meta position is above title. Show category, show date, show author name. Our author name is now going to feature. Uh, show auto profile Ulrich. I'll show you how to edit the auto profile. Right now, it just says Ulrich. I'll show you how to change this. The delimiter style is the bullet. I can change that. Header spacing. Okay, that's pretty much it. And then if I click here on colors, I will have right now the color we're using is bright, dark bright, right? But you can change your color here to anything you prefer. But I'll leave the color the way it is right now. And that's pretty much it for now regarding the section. Okay, on section here, when it says to text alignment, you really need to check this out. When it says left, it's really talking about the block, like it's talking about the metadata. Let's say it's talking about the author and when the content was written, and and the author profile. So it's not talking about our text here. Our text here is still on the left. And here the meta position is above title. As you can see, it's up here. But I can also change that. I can put it below title. You can see if I put it below title, it's going to feature here. But I don't really like to put it below title. I always like to keep it above title. So keep it above the title here. So let's go ahead here and click on save. And if you come here to site style, you have the fonts like the site style is this specific style we have right now. The theme color is this one. However, you can always change the theme color. You can see how our theme color looks now, right? If you choose that one, that will go like this, and so on. So the change will apply on the whole website. Or if I feel like I've made changes here and I don't like the type of changes I've made, I can always undo the changes by coming up here and just click on that arrow and it will undo the changes. So just make sure you undo the changes. If you're not happy, you can always undo all of the changes. So I prefer this one. I'll leave this one the way it is. Now, on the fonts, if you click here on fonts, heading, these are different examples of what we have. So right now I'm using that one, but you can change the font. Again, that's depending on what you're changing, the way it will look in a specific way. And again, if you're not happy, just undo the changes, right? If you click here on this arrow, it will give you the type of like the type of fonts you're using. So essentially, the font you're using, like the base is 16 pixel, the heading font is Roboto, the paragraph is Roboto, miscellaneous is Roboto. You can change all those fonts. So if you come here to headline, click on that. Let's just click on let's click back on the font here and go. Let's go down here to headings and the Roboto. We would change the Roboto. I prefer a font called Poppings. That's the font I like. And then I just go back. So I have Poppings on heading and paragraph. I will also have, and I can change just so you know, I can change the weight of my paragraph. Right now it's 400. I can adjust the weight. I can put 300, 500. It really depends, but just make sure you're changing your weight and it's complying with everything else on your website. You don't want to have your like something too heavy, for example, on the paragraph, and then the heading is light. So you really need to check on that. The miscellaneous, again, miscellaneous is going to be popping. So that means every single piece of content I create on my website is going to have this font. So this is the global settings. Okay. Uh, I have popping here, and then I just go back there. Assign styles, click on that. Site title, heading, mobile, text, announcement bar, paragraph. You can also change this area. So just browse through and have a look. But if you don't want to play around with this area, that's absolutely fine. Once you've made any changes here, go back here again. On the colors, these are the color palettes. So you can edit the current color palette by clicking here, edit, and just play around with the specific colors. on everything that you like and then improve it, or just choose any of these. I'll leave this color. Other colors theme are some of these ones, and you can select the ones that you prefer or you feel like is correct for you. And then I'll just go back here. The buttons is the primary. So right now I'm using this button style. As you can see, that's the button style I'm using. And then I can just click here and essentially change that if I'd like to change anything. Yeah. And let's go on forms. The forms is text. And then if I go here on miscellaneous and I click on spacing, that will essentially give me this. Page width is 2000 pixel. Side margin is that one. Animation. Right now I have non-animation, but I can decide to have slide, fade, flip or flex. It really depends. But right now I'll just have it as none. But choose what you prefer, and that's absolutely going to be fine. It's all down to you. And that's pretty much it with this part. And then I'll just click here on save. So let's click here on exit. And okay, let's talk about the blog post setting. If we look here on blog overview, we have our blog title is which is our first blog post, is on graph right now. So that means our blog post isn't yet published. And then if I click here on the three dots here, and then I click on settings, I will have blog post settings here. I will have the content. I need to add a feature image, search for image. I need to put my text there. Author is Ulrich. The source URL, I need to sort that out as well. Link post title to source URL, I also need to sort this out. So let's do that. So and then the post URL, I'll just say our post. That's it, really. If I come here to options, the status right now is on draft. I haven't yet published it. That means no one will see this blog post. But once I've done everything and I'm happy with the blog post, I can just go ahead and click here on publish. I can either publish now, or I can select a date to be published. So I can schedule this publish. But for now, let's leave it on draft because we still have some work to do here. On the SEO, and let's go back here to options, and we have tags, and then we have categories. So we can add a tag and a category for our blog post. Let's go to SEO. Our SEO is already here. That's pretty much it. And just click here on save. Actually, let's put our blog live. Let's actually publish this blog post. So if we click here on settings and I go on options, stages, and then I'm going to have this publish and this just click here on save. That's it. You can share this blog post on your Facebook or on your social account or on your social account or on your email campaign. So let's click here on edit our blog post. Let's exit, right? And let's click on blog. Okay. We click on blog and then we click here on edit blog. So right now you can add a section on top or at the bottom of your blog post. You can add a section, for example, up here. You can add anything you prefer to be added on top of your blog post. So that's essentially going to be displayed as so. So, but I'm not going to add anything here for now. I've only added one blog post. I can add more blog posts if I wish to add more blog posts. If I click here on manage posts, for example, I've only got one here, and then I can add more. And let's just go back again to edit. And if I click here on edit section, so I have basic grade blog is full. The number of blog posts I can have per column is 3. I can increase that to 4, right? But let's leave that to 3 for now. Horizontal spacing, vertical image is above. I can have the image below. That's going to look like this, but let's leave the image up. Let's leave the image above. Uh, text alignment is going to be centered, excerpt, show, read more, show title spacing, 25 pixels, content width, and then you have more details here, primary meta content, secondary, and so on. So just have a look at that. So I'm going to add a more blog posts here. This is good, great, but I'm going to add more. So if you click here on edit, and then I click on a specific blog post. So I click here on manage, and then down here, I'll just come here to settings, and then I click here on duplicate. And I'll also duplicate this again. So I have 3 blog posts, and then I'll come here on settings for this one. If I want to keep the image, then I can just keep the image, or I'll remove the image. This is just an example, guys. Yes, I changed the details there. Post URL. Now come to options. This, so make sure you hit save. But let's go back to content anyway. Okay, and click on done. And then I'm just going to do the same here for this one, and just go on settings. Then I just click on save. Okay, that's done. Then I need to click on this post. I'll change some details here. So just click on edit. Our second blog post, exit. Then I'll change this one as well. And let's click on our blog post again now to see what we have. So this is what we have. We have 3 blog posts here. We can add more blog posts if you like to, but right now this is what we have. Okay, now let's edit our section and see how it looks. So if you click here on edit section, and then if we want to go on manage posts, we can go on manage posts. It will look something like this, but we need to edit our section. So click here on edit again, and then click here on edit section. So here on the format, we have our format is the basic grid block. However, we can change that to the side-by-side block, for example. If we change that, that will look like this, right? If we go to masonry, the masonry style will look something like that. The basic grid block, essentially, that's the one that we had before. Yeah. So, and there's alternating side by side block. This is another one, another style. Anyway, so I'm just going to stick with the first one. I prefer the basic grid block. That's the one that we had before. Yes, full. The column I can have right now is 3 per column, but I can decide to have 2 per column. It's going to look like this. And if I like to have 4, then the next block I put will be on this side. It will be on the further right here. So I will have 4, but I think 3 or 4 is good. Don't go more than 3 or 4. Now on the horizontal spacing, there's a 50. I can tweak around with this, yeah, so I can play around with that. Let's leave that to 56. Let's just leave that to 56. Vertical spacing, I can also play around with that. The image is the image to be placed above. If I like the image below, then the image is going to be like that, but I don't think that looks nice. So let's just have the image above. The aspect ratio 3.2 standard, image spacing 35. The text is centered. I can place my text wherever I prefer. Let's say on the left hand side, it's going to look like this. If I like that to be centered, then I just center it back. Excerpt, show, read more, content width, read more spacing. You can change all these details, guys, just so you know. The primary meta content, there is a category here. You can change that, to whatever you prefer, but I prefer to leave it to category. Secondary meta content is date. The meta spacing is 25. The delimiter style is bullet. Okay. Now you're familiar with all these settings here on the format. Let's go to colors. And once you've done all the changes here, you need to click here on save. Okay, guys, we've covered a lot in this video about blogging on Squarespace. Essentially, that's like a lot of details about Squarespace. If you've grabbed these informations and all these details, that will help you for future blogs, and so it's going to help you a lot because these knowledge are more or less the same knowledge that will replicate across when you're building any Squarespace blog. So just bear in mind, that's like a good knowledge you've learned about Squarespace. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. If you do have any questions, drop it in the comment section below. If you need any help, business related, or if you need any consulting, I'll leave a link of my calendar in the description. You can have access to my calendar, have a look at what I offer. There's a lot of services. There's consulting services. There's Google My Business. There's web design services that I offer. I do offer a lot of things. So just have a look on my calendar and see if if you like any services that I offer there, and then we can have a talk and see what we can do for you. Have a lovely time. I'll see you next time. Take care.